You don't mean to. You don't go looking for narcissists, but somehow you keep finding them. Different faces, same emotional pattern. At first they feel magnetic, and later you feel invisible. Why does this keep happening? It starts subtly. They admire you intensely. They say you're different. You feel chosen, seen, important, and something in you relaxes. But slowly the warmth shifts. Your needs become too much. Your boundaries become selfish. Your reality gets questioned. You explain yourself more. You shrink a little, and somehow it feels familiar. You tell yourself you just have bad luck, that you're too trusting, that maybe you need to choose better, but the pattern repeats, which means it's not random, and it's not weakness. It's wiring. There are psychological reasons for this. Not 7 flaws, 7 adaptations, 7 survival patterns. Each one once protected you. Each one now pulls you toward people who feel like home, even if that home hurts. Before we talk about change, we need to understand the attraction. Because narcissistic dynamics aren't accidental. They're complementary, like 2 puzzle pieces, and your nervous system recognizes the shape instantly. You might be the calm one, the empathetic one, the peacemaker. You read moods quickly. You adjust your tone automatically. You sense tension before words are spoken. That skill didn't appear randomly. Maybe growing up, love was conditional. Approval came with performance. Attention came with usefulness. So your brain learned safety equals attunement. Safety equals adaptation. Safety equals pleasing. Narcissists thrive on admiration, on emotional supply, on someone who regulates them. And your nervous system is trained to regulate others. It feels normal, even honorable, but it's draining. You might confuse intensity with intimacy, fast bonding with deep connection, because early unpredictability wires the brain to chase certainty. And narcissists offer certainty at first. They mirror you perfectly, then withdraw, and the chase begins. Notice something. When they pull away, you try harder. When they criticize, you self-examine. When they distance, you overfunction. That reaction isn't desperation. It's attachment activation, and it has biology behind it. Visual, abstract brain animation. Your brain treats emotional withdrawal like danger. The amygdala lights up. Cortisol rises. Your system moves into threat mode. And threat mode doesn't prioritize logic. It prioritizes reconnection. So you apologize faster. Explain more. Accommodate more. You're not weak. You're regulated by proximity. And narcissists learn this quickly. But we still haven't answered the core question. You are not attracting narcissists because you're broken. You're attracting them because you're adaptive, hyper-attuned, emotionally intelligent, able to anticipate needs. Those are strengths, but in the wrong dynamic, strengths become hooks. Think of it this way. If someone is emotionally underdeveloped, they gravitate towards someone emotionally overdeveloped, like a muscle imbalance. One side compensates for the other, until it collapses. Your brain doesn't choose familiarity because it's good. It chooses familiarity because it's known. Predictable, even if painful. Familiar pain feels safer than unfamiliar peace. And that's where the real mechanism begins. Reason 1, familiarity bias. Your hippocampus stores relational templates. Early caregivers create a blueprint. Later partners are unconsciously compared to that blueprint. Not consciously, but neurologically. Visual child sitting quietly in dim light. If love once required walking on eggshells, your brain encodes that as normal love. So when someone triggers that same vigilance, it feels strangely aligned. Your body says, I know this dance. Reason 2, anxious attachment conditioning. Inconsistent affection creates dopamine spikes. Uncertainty heightens reward sensitivity. Intermittent reinforcement is addictive. It's the same mechanism used in gambling, and narcissists operate intermittently. Reason 3, self-worth externalization. If validation was scarce early on, you may rely on others to stabilize identity. Narcissists start by over-validating. It feels regulating, until the supply shifts, and your identity destabilizes. Reason 4, empathic overextension. High empathy activates mirror neurons intensely. You feel their emotions as yours. You overfunction to reduce their discomfort. Not because you're naive, because your brain is wired for resonance. Reason 5, conflict avoidance conditioning. If conflict once meant danger, your prefrontal cortex learned to suppress confrontation. You smooth things over, minimize red flags, delay boundaries. And narcissists escalate where boundaries are unclear. Reason 6, trauma bond neurochemistry. Visual, slow-moving light patterns. Stress hormones plus intermittent affection create bonding. Cortisol and dopamine intertwine. Relief after distress feels euphoric. Your brain bonds to relief, not to safety. That's why leaving feels like withdrawal. Reason 7. Identity as the strong one. If you were praised for resilience, you may tolerate emotional neglect longer because strength became your identity. Admitting harm feels like weakness, so you endure. And endurance attracts imbalance. Now we shift, not to blame, but to rewire, because awareness changes neural pathways. Slowly, deliberately. Let's build something different. Step 1. Slow the dopamine. What to do? Delay emotional commitment. Why it works. Slowing reward anticipation reduces addictive bonding. Example. When someone overwhelms you with attention, pause instead of escalating. Step 2. Track body signals. What to do? Notice tension, not just chemistry. Why it works. The insula processes internal states before conscious thought. Example. If you feel tightness in your chest during praise, don't ignore it. Step 3. Practice micro-boundaries. What to do? Say small no's early. Why it works. Each boundary strengthens prefrontal amygdala regulation. Example. Decline a last-minute plan without over-explaining. Observe their response. Step 4. Separate intensity from intimacy. What to do? Measure consistency, not passion. Why it works. Secure attachment is predictable, not dramatic. Example. Do they show up calmly over time, or only intensely when convenient? Step 5. Rebuild internal validation. What to do? Journal decisions you're proud of. Why it works. Self-referenced affirmation strengthens medial prefrontal pathways. Example. Instead of asking, was I good enough? Ask, did I honor myself? Empty room with sunlight. Imagine your nervous system as a smoke alarm. Right now, it goes off at familiarity, not at safety. It confuses emotional chaos with connection. Your work isn't to silence it. It's to recalibrate it. Attraction isn't random. It's patterned prediction. Your brain predicts what love feels like and seeks to recreate it. But prediction can update with new experiences, new boundaries, new pacing. You won't stop attracting narcissists overnight, but you will stop engaging. And that's the shift, because attraction is chemistry. Attachment is choice, and choice lives in awareness, visual waves moving slowly. You were never drawn to narcissists because you lacked value. You were drawn because your nervous system recognized familiarity, because you learned to survive through attunement, because you adapted beautifully. But survival patterns aren't destiny. The next time someone feels magnetic, pause. Ask your body, not just your longing. Is this intensity or is this safety? There is a difference, and your brain can learn it. Visual notebook with one sentence written. You don't need to become colder or harder or less empathetic. You only need to pair empathy with boundaries, warmth with structure, compassion with discernment. The pattern isn't proof that you're broken. It's proof that you adapted. And now you're allowed to adapt again, quietly, deliberately. The kind of love that stays will not feel like fireworks. It will feel like calm. And at first, calm may feel unfamiliar. But unfamiliar does not mean unsafe. Sometimes it just means new. So if you've been asking, why do I keep attracting narcissists? The deeper question might be, what does my nervous system still believe love feels like? And that question changes everything.